Okay, hey everyone. Welcome to the webinar today. Today we'll be discussing engagement strategies for holiday in partnership with Adjust. My name is Kara Dake and I am VP of Growth and Partnerships at CleverTap, a mobile analytics and engagement platform. We're very pleased to have joining us today Justin Feynman, Team Lead in Technical Account Management, and Almitra Karnik, Head of Marketing at CleverTap. Just a couple of quick housekeeping things as we're getting started. We definitely encourage you to ask any questions. There's a Q&A panel in your browser, so feel free to type in some questions. We'll be managing that as we go, and we'll very likely be holding those questions to the end, but feel free to drop them in advance so we can review them and make sure we have time to get to them at the end. And that's it, and we'll get started. So on the agenda today, Adjust will be leading us through top of the funnel engagement strategies, followed by post-install engagement strategies with Almitra from CleverTap. And finally, we'll be tying it all together with retargeting and remarketing strategies you can utilize for your holiday campaign. Mobile shopping is predicted to be utilized by 76% of Americans this holiday season. One of the critical issues facing mobile shopping, though, is that many abandon cart before purchasing, which is a critical issue to explore. Mobile apps specifically have an 81% abandonment rate, with more than $4 trillion in merchandise left in shopping carts every year. So today we're going to guide you through strategies to help mitigate these issues and others, from driving users to your app and through retaining and converting them after they've downloaded. Now I'm going to pass it over to Justin from Adjust. Let me take you off mute really quick, Justin.
Cool, guys. Hey,
cool,
so am I here? Cool, excellent. Yeah. Hey, great to meet you all. So I want to give you guys an overview of Adjust here. So Adjust, so we provide one of the most essential pieces to mobile advertising. So that's really being able to know exactly where your users are coming from and what they do after you acquired them. So with our analytics, our goal and our pride really is to give you the cleanest possible data so you can make informed buying decisions. So we do this by giving you an unbiased view into all of your mobile advertising initiatives, so you can compare these channels really on a completely even playing field. Another aspect to our products is we also provide App Store insights. So this would be stuff such as metrics for like your rankings, where you're sitting for velocity recently for downloads on the store, and then also to providing analytics for positive and negative sentiments from what people are writing in for your reviews. Excellent here. So, a little more about the company here. So we started Adjust about 5 years ago, and we're based in Berlin, but we have offices all around the world in countries such as United States, Japan, China, and Brazil. So and I'm located in the United States here. So we can count the largest players in mobile as our clients. Like I personally work with clients like Yelp and PayPal, but this results in us being integrated in over 22,000 apps around the world. As such, interesting statistics, Adjust software can be found on 1 out of every 2 iPhones worldwide. So as such, with this big footprint, this gives us a ton of data. So this allows us really to provide our clients with exact granularity that you guys need to make informed decisions, but also helps us build up new great products to tackle some of mobile ad tech's hardest issues. In terms of partners that we work with, so we work with nearly every major supply partner, like being from Facebook to guys like AdColony. We also work with big data companies as well too. So we have a really strong analytics stack, but we can also play nicely and marry things together just to give everybody flexibility on how they want to visualize what they're seeing. Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you, Justin. So now I'm going to speak to CleverTap and how we help our customers engage, retain, and convert users after they've acquired and analyzed their acquisition channels using a tool like Adjust. CleverTap is a comprehensive marketing automation platform that ties together your analytics and user engagement all in one place. We offer a complete solution that allows you to track what your users are doing in your app, segment your users, and then engage them on any marketing channel to grow your business. We work with over 4,000 customers, and our software is used on over 1 billion devices. We process 55 billion events per month across these devices, and 10 billion messages are sent per month. Our customers include McDonald's, Sony, Samsung, the Denver Broncos, and many, many more. So some of the things you can do with CleverTap are analyzing rich user profiles. You can track every user, whether they're logged in or not. You can track your users' event activity in real time. You can utilize our funnels and cohorts to find out where your users may be dropping off, and also view those retention cohorts. You can use our pivots to compare data across multiple properties and flows to view exactly where your users flow through your app. We work with major attribution providers like Adjust, so you can understand where your users are coming from and how they're engaging with your app. And this information will help you optimize your campaign spend across your marketing channels. We can analyze your uninstall activity and figure out who may be deleting your app and get them to come back. And finally, with our omni-channel marketing campaigns, you can engage your users with push notifications, SMS, email, remarketing, web notifications, and browser push notifications. We also offer personalization and customization of these messages on these mentioned channels to personalize based on who they are or what they've done. And now we're going to pass it over to Justin, who's going to jump into the top of the funnel engagement strategies specifically for your holiday campaign.
All right, guys, great. So, kind of start off here. So, we hear consistently from our clients that one of the biggest challenges is not necessarily identifying a quality user, but really finding out where they came from and when. So, we've seen it's very common to make assumptions about where to best spend your advertising dollars. And unfortunately, sometimes these decisions are not data-driven, or they're being made, quite frankly, with the wrong data or with polluted data. So, in the holidays, these decisions can really make or break a company. So I want to focus on two specific use cases here. So one is going to be around e-commerce, and then the other one's going to be around mobile gaming. And these are two major verticals that we see lifts happening during the holiday season. So holidays for e-commerce, makes sense. You have Black Friday here in the United States. There's other holidays, like, for example, Singles Day in China is a big one. So what we see here commonly is, like, the week before Christmas, the week after Christmas, we see a big lift there. We also see right around Black Friday and the week after Black Friday, and then it stays kind of consistent all through December. One of the big things there is you really need to get your messaging right to get people engaged to use your download your app and then make a purchase. Naturally, with mobile, there's a lot of friction steps with mobile. So what happens is you have to click on an ad, download it, open it. So there's a lot of areas for people to drop off. So the best you can do there is really make sure you have your ads are really engaging there. And then on top of that too, your content inside the app store is also engaging to stop the drop-offs. And then when people get into the app, make sure that there's not a lot of friction for them to start browsing and looking at content within there. So not having like mandatory sign-up pages and things like that, that can turn people off there. For gaming, one of the things we see is we see a big lift really on the day of Christmas. This year particularly, we have one of the biggest and most exciting iPhone releases in the past 3 years, and that's been the iPhone X. So we expect to see a lot of new devices being gifted out. So typically, what happens is, you're opening your gifts on Christmas morning. You don't really get a chance to necessarily play with it right away. But after all the hustle and bustle is done, you finally get to spend some quality time with your device there. You're going to start logging into social networks, say Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Start putting some of your favorite apps on there. But what will happen is, if you're able to find these users right when they're logging on, if you have, a very engaging ad to show them about, say, your game, they're very likely to click on that. They're very likely to also, because they want to see what this game looks like on their phone. They want to play around with it. These users will generally be some of your most engaged as well too. So it's going to be high lifetime value, most likely to make in-app purchases. They're also probably going to be retained a little bit longer as well. Perfect. Okay. So next topic here, one of the things we see, I'm going to talk about mobile ad fraud, because this is actually really important in terms of keeping your data clean, and also make sure you're spending your ad dollars in the right spot. So, as we see across major retailers and shopping malls, theft increases during the holidays. Unfortunately, in mobile advertising, we see something very similar as well too here. Really, it's because there's a lot more eyeballs on ads. There's a lot more ad supply out there. So one of the things we commonly hear when we talk about fraud is, fake devices. We think of some bank basement with, a bunch of bots running and, looking like simulated devices. That's actually not really going to be the biggest issue. The biggest issue we see is with click spamming. So what this results in is that you end up paying for organic users. So what this means is that you're giving money to an ad network for a user who probably actually didn't engage with that ad, and they ended up going and downloading your app on a self-guided journey to the App Store. So couple tips with this, really. So the way click spamming works is basically blindly these networks will just start flooding out clicks, because really with advertising, it works on last touch attribution. So the last touch point that somebody sees will be the one that earns the credit for the attribution. So that's basically like crediting Facebook or AdCon or something like that with be responsible for driving your install. And that's where you're going to be spending your money with. So you're paying them on a cost per install there. So there's a lot of incentive for fraudsters to try to game the system. The other thing too with this is, it's also a result of misattribution. If you have a user who clicked on a Facebook ad, but then some random ad network that you're working with is also spamming clicks, the ad network is also going to steal the attribution away from Facebook. So then your advertising partners you're working with aren't really getting properly credited for the work that they're doing. So Adjust provides a great tool for this. One of the big differentiators with our fraud tool is, we're very specialized in being able to find these click spamming behaviors. Because we have so much data, as I mentioned before, we're able to see a lot of trends in terms of how these fraudsters work. One of the big things with Adjust is we're big on what we call fraud prevention and not fraud detection. So the idea is we're stopping you from the money from coming out of your insertion order to the advertising partner, rather than after the fact you having to go back and reconcile these numbers. A couple best practices we have around this. When you're looking at your data, so we have our fraud tool, it works great, but this is just general. If you're using Adjust or using any other attribution partner, just good ways to look at your data. Channels that are too good to be true. So I would say the majority of users that you pay for will generally not have the same lifetime value and retention rates as your organic users. So if you're running with a particular channel at scale and you're starting to see this, I would definitely be skeptical of this. There's some channels like Facebook, because their targeting can be very, very granular. They can get very close to your organic retention rates in LTV. But other channels, I would say, definitely take a good look at this. Traffic patterns. So, do you see floods of clicks coming in that really just don't look real? Like abnormal times, stuff that doesn't quite match, like how you spec'd out with your advertising partner when to run your ads. Say, for example, you want to run your ads between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., like most of your spend, but for some reason you're seeing a big flood of clicks at, say, like 2 o'clock in the morning. That's usually an indicator of fraud as well, too. Look at your numbers. So pay close attention to your conversion rates. Conversion rates, we define this as click to install. So people click on an ad, go to the App Store, download, and then open the app. So when you see rates right around like 0.2%, 0.5%, this could be a big indicator as well. Because if you really back these out to like a CPI, if like you look at these clicks and you're backing out with your CPI and you're trying to find what the effective cost per click is, you'll oftentimes find that the effective cost per click is going to be below 1 cent or very close to it. If you're really thinking about it, if you were on the publisher side, would you really be selling your traffic at that low of a rate? So that's a good indicator. Same time too, when you're looking at the users who you actually acquire, these users will usually have similar behavior to your organic users as well. So there's a good chance in those cases that you actually are paying for your organic users. And last but not least, I really say is, diversify your ad spend. So, it's very common just basically to stick with one channel because you're really comfortable with it. But really at scale, you do need to diversify, because even the biggest channels, even if you take Facebook and Google, we really start nailing it down with their demographic targeting. So like getting down to age-specific targeting, geolocation, annual income, you really will it down to a small supply. So you are going to need to bring in more channels out there. This can also help you too when you're really in the holiday season and you're running full steam ahead with your spend. If you have a couple channels that are not optimal, and you're basically a little bit more able to mitigate. Say if you have a channel that's coming out as fraudulent or lower quality, it's not going to completely derail your entire strategy there. I also say, try out new media types too. So if you haven't worked with, say, video content before, or native advertising, or sponsored content, I would definitely do this. And a lot of times the ad partners that you're working with currently also to deal with these other type of media. So if you already have a good relationship with them, this is a great time to kind of broaden your horizons as well. So next, to discuss one of our other great tools here. We have a tool called the Audience Builder. So the idea behind this product is to allow you to basically segment out your existing users and either find them on the open web, kind of use this as a retargeting tool based off of the Adjust stats. So we allow you to build segments off, say, a user who was acquired in a certain amount of time, but maybe has fallen off, maybe they haven't been active in the last 30 days, or you want to find users who have completed certain lower funnel steps. They really haven't completed that one event that you really want them to complete. For top of the funnel strategy, though, this there's also a great use for this is that you can use this to basically build suppression lists. So this would be giving your advertising partners a list of users you do not want them to target. The reason why this is important is you don't really want to be spending money on clicks and impressions on users that you already own. So this is a great use for the Audience Builder tool for that. Another cool, more sophisticated thing you can do with this is partners like Facebook and Google can build lookalike audiences. So you can download a list of what you think are your most ideal users, based off of certain events they've completed. Like you've identified, these are the KPIs that define what is a quality user for you. You take these lists, you give them to Facebook. They probably already have these users in their database, but what they can do is they can then find with their own data, find users who are very similar to the particular ones that you've given them. And these also, so when you're buying, you might not be buying at much scale, but the quality of users you're going to get coming in are going to be a lot higher, rather than just trying to get sheer download numbers to your app. For re-engagement, kind of circling back to here with this, one of the things we see is that with audience, with the Audience Builder, we really allow you to get your campaigns running from day one. One of the things we see is that sometimes these campaigns can take a little bit of time to get off. Sometimes it's 7 days, sometimes it's 14 days. The reason why is that re-engagement partners generally need to build up a database by kind of looking at your new users who are coming in, how they're behaving, and just kind of build up a scale. Say it's like 1 million users for you, so they can basically kind of learn the patterns there. With the Audience Builder, you can basically give these partners a list from day one, and this will allow them to basically start running right away for you. So in the holiday season, this is key because you don't really have 2 weeks to a month even to ramp up. You need to start running right away. And if you do need to switch partners really quickly in the middle of a campaign or middle of your holiday initiatives, this allows you to basically be able to do that. And finally, too, if you're working with several different re-engagement partners, we love CleverTap, they're great, but likely, you're probably going to have some other ones you're working with as well. With these lists, you can give all of your partners off of one segment, individualized list, and so you don't have these partners basically competing for the same users. So you're not basically buying, you're not trying to retarget one user across 2 or 3 different networks and basically spending, twice as much money or 3 times as much money for that user. Excellent. So in summary, I'd say for the best practices here, look at your trends from last year. So this should generally be a good indicator of what to expect. But you can also identify areas for improvement. For example, like say there was a particular time of the year that you really felt like you should have knocked it out of the park, but you didn't. You might want to adjust your spend or adjust your strategies, focusing on that if it is a big initiative for you and if it was a big miss for you last year. Going back to the fraud, look at your organic traffic versus your paid traffic. Have the expectation, of course, that your paid traffic isn't going to look quite as good as your organic, but sometimes with good re-engagement strategies and things like that, you can slowly build those users back up to that quality. It might just take a little bit more work, and that's something that CleverTap is going to be great for there. Again, measuring your LTV across all channels. It's a big thing too. Kind of goes back into looking at paid versus organic. I think this is really one of the big KPIs to look at, especially if you are looking at for e-commerce. And then also too, maintain an open dialogue with your channels that you're working with. If you're not seeing the quality that you like from your advertising partners, speak with them. The more information that they have, the more chances they're going to have to be able to get things right for you, rather than going to them just saying, hey, I don't like this traffic, let's shut it off. And quite frankly, this also works with the fraud discussion as well too. So a lot of these networks do not want to have fraud within them. So if you're working with them saying, hey, we're seeing this, this is actually going to help them out. And it's, it's also going to help out other advertisers that they're working with too. It's just a good thing for the ecosystem in general. So, well, now let's just turn things over to our friends here at CleverTap.
Awesome, Justin. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. I'm really excited now to pass it over to Almitra, who's going to speak to post-install engagement and retention strategies for holiday. Take it away, Almitra.
Thanks, Justin and Kara. Hello, everyone. As Kara mentioned, I'm Almitra Karnik, and I head marketing for CleverTap. As you can see, the marketer's job isn't an easy one. The existing solutions on their own just solve a small component of the marketer's challenges. Hence, to get a 360-degree view of the user and be able to make the right marketing decisions, businesses need to create a complex stack of multiple MarTech products. CleverTap is a powerful mobile marketing solution that helps marketers create differentiated customer engagement strategies guaranteed to drive growth. Every day, thousands of brands continue to build valuable relationships with their customers using the CleverTap's intelligence mobile marketing platform and provide actionable real-time insights for building amazing customer experiences. We help you analyze your users and get advanced insights. You can use our advanced segmentation engine to group users based on actions they do or don't, engage users using the best marketing channel that drives the optimal ROI, and eventually get real-time metrics that help you learn and improve. Now let's look at each stage a little bit in detail. With CleverTap, you can analyze your users using a rich user profile feature. You can build a profile for every user who visits your app and store their demographic data, such as gender, age, location, app and website interactions, campaign visits, and transaction history. You can also analyze user actions such as registrations, watching a video, browsing a catalog, or even purchasing. Immediately append data instantly to your user's profile so you can get insights right away. Another way some of our customers use the CleverTap Analyze function is using CleverTap funnels. Using the funnel feature, you can understand your user's navigation through your app by visualizing all the paths they take and the roadblocks they face. You can optimize the paths to conversion and reduce the friction points so your users can see value faster. Pivots help you to process billions of data points in milliseconds and slice and dice your data to better understand your users. By pivoting on the day of the week and on the time of the day, you can spot the golden window of opportunity and find the highest number of transactions on your platform. Similarly, you can view the trend of revenue from different cities over time by pivoting on cities and using the time of the week as one of the granular components that helps you to find the right tools and build the popular engagement strategies around it. Now let's look at the second piece of the puzzle, which is segmentation. Segmentation using our live user segment feature, customers are able to segment their users in real time. Suppose a user adds a pair of jeans to the cart and you know based on past data that if a user with a specific set of profiles around gender, age, buy it in 25 minutes or never end up buying it, then send a personalized notification in that time frame so you can up your probability of monetization. As you get closer to the 25th minute, start adding deals and incentives to drive more revenues and up your chances of basically moving that customer to monetization. Geolocation is a very hot topic these days. Mobile marketers can get highly contextual by adding location-specific information on weather, festivals, movie premieres, etc., and cash on that opportunity to drive their top-line revenues. The next part is the engagement platform that we provide for our customers. Using the CleverTap mobile marketing platform, you can build customer journeys using the world's smartest data science AI-powered mobile marketing ecosystem for long-term user engagement and brand loyalty. Create omni-channel marketing plans across all marketing engagement channels so your users have a consistent, differentiated experience with your brand 24/7. Deliver marketing automation campaigns across the entire user lifecycle from acquisition to engagement to retention to reinstall. Develop geolocation targeting based on a user's location with advanced localization tactics. Also use personalization at scale and deliver the best possible end user experiences by capitalizing on key mobile moments that help boost user retention. And in the end, rapidly experiment and learn and test the impact of your marketing efforts on ROI and user engagement, and evaluate immediate reports on user activity within your app through our highly scalable, reliable, and secure platform that processes millions of events in milliseconds. Lastly, you can get immediate feedback on the ROI of your marketing campaigns so you can learn, adapt, and grow. Various dashboards on the CleverTap platform help you to basically figure out which channels or which marketing strategies are working the best for you so you know where the best bang for the buck is. Here are some channels that most of our data-driven marketers are widely using on their platform during the holidays. As you all know, omni-channel marketing is more of a norm than an exception. 45% users opt in to receive push notifications and are widely used channel for marketers. You can use them to activate new users, improve engagement, drive re-engagement, and much more. With personalization and notifications triggered on user activity, the click-through rates can go up by almost 300%. SMS is used to show urgency and hence is used when the action needs immediate attention. They have click-through rates of almost 6.16%. And however, if you have to make this channel really successful, you need to build a strong value proposition and ask for users to opt in. In-app messages are supposed to trigger an immediate reaction based on an action in the app. They are highly contextual and can be dynamically adapted based on an item in the cart or a stage in a video game. In-app messages are used mostly for people who want to make sure that as a customer is in the app, they are actually going to the next path to either engagement or monetization, and marketers can get an opportunity to basically convert that user into a potential customer. Average open rates for all industries around email marketing is somewhere around 21.73%, and the average click-through rate is around 3.57%. Email marketing has been around for a very long time, and it is one of the most popular channels that marketers have to leverage and sell their value proposition. So now we talked about email, in-app, push, SMS, and as you can see that the CleverTap mobile marketing platform integrates with various popular platforms as well, such as SendGrid. So all your marketing channels go through one holistic mobile marketing solution. You get all reports in one platform, and you can basically decide at what point in time, what channel should be used for what kind of a response from a customer. This is truly an omni-channel marketing experience for your end user. Finally, as you can see, building data-driven marketing cultures has become a major role of the marketer, and it requires a complete rewiring of marketing technologies. Data-driven approaches to marketing is the need of the hour. The modern-day marketer needs to leverage mobile marketing ecosystems that are powered by data and can be actionable by marketers to adapt to customers' needs and build differentiated mobile experiences. I will hand it over to Kara to close on how the acquisition and retention channels work together, and we can, in the end, answer some questions that you have on either acquisition or retention. Kara, over to you.
Cool, perfect. Actually, this is going to be Justin here. So I'm going to kind of give you a few areas here to kind of tie us all together here. So for retargeting and re-engagement here. So one of the things big to look at is, figure out which channels, of course, are bringing you your quality users from the top. Figure out which channels are also, bringing in users who seem to get to that front door, get to kind of the top of the funnel, but they don't really move towards the middle, towards the end. These are still valuable channels to work with when you're for user acquisition. But these could also be create good segments of users to then start retargeting against as well too. So, always answer the following questions. How much did a user spend when they came back into the app for your re-engagement and retargeting campaigns? Did they buy one product? Is this somebody who's like a repeat user? Don't necessarily always look at, does somebody spend, $100, or would you rather have somebody who spends $20 5 times? That's probably going to be a more engaged user. But always look at the overall cart and overall basket value as well there. For gaming, use your event tracking. One of the things with Adjust is we allow you the granularity to track any activity that happens inside your app. And you can basically attribute this event back to the original network that brought you that user, or the network that helped kind of bring this user back into the fold for you as well too. So for an example, maybe you have users who are getting to level 2, but they're dropping off, or they're stopping there, and maybe because the game is too hard, but maybe also too, so they get to a certain point and they just need to get credits for there. Or so you might want to run some ads that will perhaps give them maybe actually a little boost to kind of move further down the funnel for you if it's worth it. Diversification of your channels. I think really one of the big thing with re-engagement, what we've seen is that, a lot of times, you can have, one really good solid partner, but, really trying to find users out in the open web at scale can be difficult. It can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. The reason why is because you're targeting for a very particular user ID. It's very granular, rather than saying, I was going to try to target for, say, all of the New York DMA, or all of San Francisco Bay Area. So trying to find these users, it's going to take it's going to take some initiative there. You might work with guys like CleverTap. I highly recommend doing push notification. That's a really good way of getting directly to a user. It's also really cheap generally too, compared to spending on retargeting networks. But yeah, utilize everything you have at your disposal there. And last thing too, fraud does exist in retargeting as well. So the same click spamming techniques there also work for retargeting. So keep an eye on that too. Last bit, so one of the biggest tools for re-engagement retargeting, and I think this is really kind of like the most important aspect for it, is deep linking. And what deep linking does is it makes your app work almost exactly like how a web page would work. So rather than clicking on an ad and having it take you to the App Store and have you download, this allows you basically to send users directly to the content within your app. In marketing, I was moving the steps or friction points really for new users to complete lower funnel goals is key. So one of the things we can do with deep linking, there's a thing called deferred deep linking. So I'll kind of explain this a little bit more in depth here. So the idea here is that rather than showing a user an ad that's more generalized to just download your app, why not show them an ad that highlights a particular content that's inside your app that you determine that would be of great interest to them. So, after they engage with this ad, they're taken to this content, generally on the web, it's very easy to do, but with apps it's a little bit trickier because, you have the concept of you have to click on the ad, you download it, you go into the store, you open it, you might have a registration step in there in your app. So there's a lot of steps in there that can get in the way. What happens here is, you say you click on an ad for a particular product, you're the user, you're getting back into the app, you probably forgot what the actual product was, how much it cost. So now you're sitting in the app and you might be kind of lost trying to find what that was. So one of the things that we can do is we give you an ability to basically, so when you click on the ad, when somebody gets done downloading and installing the app, opens for the first time, the app actually will open up to that particular content as well. And this could happen, 30 days after they click even. We'll still retain that information there for that user. And you know what? This will lead to higher engaged users. They're more likely to complete that purchase. It's going to work kind of like how it does for existing users, where For retargeting, if you go and put something in the cart and then suddenly on the open web, you start seeing ads for that particular item all over the place. When you click on that ad on the open web, it's going to take you right to that product page. So the same thing exactly with deferred deep linkings. You can basically bring that into your app as well for new users too. So cool. So I think that's all I have for me here. Let's turn it over to you guys for some questions. And Kara, I think you might still be on mute here.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
I was talking to myself. Okay, yeah, so this is the time if you have questions, type away in the Q&A box. I'm going to wait maybe 30 seconds here. And of course, we're available, both Justin and Almitra and our respective teams, if you have follow-up questions. I know this is a content-heavy presentation here with a lot of information, which we will be sharing with you all again if you need to watch it again and pick up more information. I'm going to wait about 10, 15 more seconds to see if we have any questions, and if not, we will close this out and let you get on with your day. Okay, I think that means we're all good, no questions. So with that, Justin, you want to just quickly talk about how our participants can get in touch with you guys over to Adjust?
We have a demo system here. So if you click on this button here, or copy this URL here, we'd love to have you guys for a demo. This is run by our technical account management team generally. And one of the things we can do is we can kind of show you the A to Z, the in-depth of how our dashboard works. So, if you just want to get a better idea of how mobile attribution works, we're experts on this. We'd rather have you guys all be informed rather than necessarily, if you don't choose Adjust, that's great. That's fine with us, but we'd rather you guys are making an informed decision. So please come talk to us. We're also always open for questions as well too. So you just have general questions, reach out to us.
Fantastic, thanks, Justin. And here at CleverTap, we also want to thank you so much for joining us today. We'd love to connect with you and learn more about your business and how we can help you manage your apps, analytics, and engagement needs. So you can go to clevertap.com to sign up for a demo, or also reach out to us at sales@clevertap.com. And thanks again, and this concludes today's webinar. Have a great day.